But do you?
What's up everybody, Mr. Letter here, bringing you guys another video, and today's video is going to be a real talk video about school. As you guys probably seen in the title below, school was a very long period of time for me, and I'm sure it's going to be long for you guys as well if you guys are still in school. If you guys aren't in school, maybe you guys can relate to some of the things that I had happened in school. To get into today's topic video, we are going to talk about the game I'm playing and who I'm playing with. I'm playing GTA 5 with probably 7 or 8 of my friends all at once. We were on a bike ride across the town, and as you can see, I'm a horrible driver. But it's very fun. We usually do this once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on how many people can get on. But the highest I've ever had was 10 people all on bikes, which was really fun. And the thing about driving with so many people is that you have to wait up constantly, and you constantly have to make sure everybody's not dead, because a lot of people die on bikes and they're just not as good drivers as your role model, Mr. Letter here, is an excellent driver. But see, the people above me right now are searching for me because they didn't know I took a different route, and it just gets really complicated. So if you guys would do this, so it's so fun, it's so worth everything, all the hassle and trouble and somewhat of a headache. But try it out if you guys haven't. Okay guys, so let's get into today's topic video. We're talking about school, and I'm just gonna share some of the stories that happened to me in school, and some of the good and some of the bad, and my favorite things about school, and then my least favorite things about school. So let's get into our first little story. So our first little story today was this is going to be a good one, particularly good. When I was a freshman, I didn't have a job. Obviously, I was just getting into high school, didn't have anything like that. Didn't have many friends because I actually stopped talking to all my middle school friends because they were getting me into a lot of trouble, and I didn't want to go down the wrong path. So I knew very young that I wanted to do YouTube, so I just kind of focused on that as hard as I could, and what happened was I didn't have a job, and I needed money to buy the equipment that I needed to start a YouTube channel, like a computer and a camera and SD cards and simple stuff like that. And I didn't have any money in a bank account. I didn't even have a bank account. So what I needed was a job. So I set out, and I talked to a lot of people at school, and they were all getting jobs at like McDonald's or the local grocery store or Subway and stuff like that, like simple teenage jobs. I actually ended up talking to one of my teachers about what should I do for a job, and he actually knew the manager in the middle school kitchen, and I actually knew them. Like, I was acquainted with them. Obviously, I went to middle school at the same school, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who they are. And he's like, I can probably get you a job there. So I was actually going to be working for the school district, and I was like, wow, that is really awesome. So what had happened was I got the job. I went in for an interview, and I actually got hired on the spot, which had never happened before. Obviously, I didn't have a job before it, but it was so cool, and it was such a good feeling that they were like, wow, you are awesome. We want you to work here for sure. So I worked there for actually 4 years, and I actually wish I still worked there, because like the people there were so awesome and so cool, and their stories of their life, it was just so cool. And everybody had a different personality, and they really liked my personality, which is something that's rare. So, as working there for 4 years, I have so many good memories between scaring people and getting free lunch and messing around and doing stuff that I shouldn't have, getting into mischief, you know, the usual teenage stuff. It's one of my good memories. Now I'm going to share one of my bad memories. I got in a lot of, in and out of trouble in high school and middle school. A lot of middle school for sure, because middle school was kind of my years of, what do I want to do with my life? I'm just going to fight everybody. So, I remember there were 2 stories about fighting, and before I get into them, I just wanted to stress that fighting is literally never the answer, and when people tell you that, they're totally right. Don't ever fight. It's pointless. Doesn't make any sense. But I remember this story is actually when I broke a kid's nose. It wasn't... I'm not going to say it wasn't intentional, but it wasn't intentional to fully break his nose. I just wanted to hurt the kid to realize what he was doing. So, here's the story. So what had happened was me and my little brother, actually our bus dropped us off at the stop sign towards our house. It was about a mile away, and there were 2 options. You could either get off at the stop sign and walk the mile, which probably took you about 15 minutes, or stay on the bus and ride it all the way around and be the last kids to be dropped off, which took usually around 40 minutes. So we always usually walked unless it was raining or it was snowing or something like that. So we usually took the bus all the way around and on a crappy day. But anyway, so we were walking home on a nice day. It was actually me, my friend, my friend's older sister that was actually my grade, and Keegan and their sister, I think, too. So there was like 5 of us, and then this really rude kid that was on our block that just like super rude, never shut up, really annoying. He was actually a grade below me, just a super rude kid. He was actually messing with Keegan, and I was actually up there talking to my friend, let's call him Will. I was talking to Will and his sister, and I wasn't really paying attention to Keegan, and let's call this kid, let's think of a name. Let's call him Bill. So me, Will, and the sister were all talking, and Keegan and Bill were messing around behind us. So Keegan said something dumb, like usual. Usually Keegan accidentally says the wrong things. He gets that from me for sure. But anyway, he said the wrong thing, and the kid must have got mad and actually grabbed him by his backpack that he had on his back and pulled him to the ground. And when I seen that, I was like, whoa, man, that's my little brother. You can't do that kind of crap. So I told him, I was like, hey, you need to step back. That's it. This is done. And then he started running his mouth, basically saying stupid stuff, and I just really couldn't take that. And I was like, okay. Well, I don't know why, but I always let people hit me for the first time, which doesn't make any sense now looking back at it. They were like, I was like, you can hit me. I'll go ahead. We'll see what happens. So he hit me on the upper side of my jaw, and it really did nothing. It didn't even faze me. It cut it a little bit. It didn't even hurt. And I don't know, in the heat of the moment, you don't really feel any of that. And I'm not, again, don't fight ever, because it literally solves nothing. But anyway, what happened was he had swung at me, and so then I instantly got into rage mode, and I punched him in the nose as hard as I could, and just like he just hit the ground like rocks. And when he got up, he was pouring blood out of his nose, and everybody was like laughing, and I was just like, I was ready to hurt him even more, but Keegan was like, okay, he's done. And it was only one hit. Like, I didn't stress, like, beating the crap out of this kid. I didn't want to hurt him. I just wanted him to know that, like, hey, don't touch my family. And I get that, like, people don't like understand that kind of stuff sometimes, and I should have not have handled the situation in that. So again, never fight. But after I had hit him, I felt bad, and I went home and everything, and I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I overreacted, and I went over to his house with his family was there and everything, and I walked in there and I said, I'm sorry, and he's like, oh, I accept your apology, I shouldn't have done what I did, and I was like, okay, cool. So later that night, we're sitting in my bedroom playing video games with Keegan, and all of a sudden I hear a doorbell ring, and I go out and I look at the door, and it's this kid, Bill, and he's standing there and with his parents, and even though I had already apologized, his parents said that there was a lot of blood and they weren't going to press charges and everything and stuff like that. And I was like, well, that's really dumb. I was like, I already apologized. Why do I have to do it again? And my dad didn't know that I got in a fight. Like, obviously, I wasn't going to tell him that I had punched a kid really hard. I didn't want to, get him mad at me and get me grounded over something dumb. And well, which was also, again, stupid of me. I should have told my dad right away, but I didn't, and I was dumb. And then they told me that they weren't going to press charges and everything, and that there was a lot of blood, and he knows that it was like half the kid's fault and then half mine. And I told him, I was like, I let him make the decision to punch me first, and they just wanted an apology, so I said I was sorry. Not did I necessarily mean it. I mean, I don't know, maybe at the time, but now looking back, I don't mean it at all. Like, the kid shouldn't have touched anybody. Like, I shouldn't have fought him, and he shouldn't have fought me. That's really what should have happened. That's only, like, a couple, like, of my one good story, one bad. I have so many good memories in high school, and so many good memories in just school in general. But there were a lot of bad memories, and I know a lot of kids nowadays are getting bullied and everything. And bullied, I literally just graduated, so I know what it's like. It's ridiculous. People come up with the weirdest things, and it's just rude. Like, people don't have filters, and that really sucks sometimes with kids nowadays. But I just want you guys to know that once you guys get in the real world, it's not necessarily going to get easier in, like, the financial perspective, and whether it's, like, college loans or just, like, being out there on your own, like, by yourself right away. But I think that it gets a lot easier between bullying. Like, you're never going to have to see these people again. It may be hard for now, but as soon as you get to the end, you know that's like, wow, these people literally mean nothing to me. So, unless it's your friends, obviously. But, I mean, high school bullies, they're not going to be around forever. And I just want you guys all to know that. And appreciate what you have now also as well. Because the high school years, although they sucked, and I would never go back to that hellhole, I do miss some of the stuff about going to school. Like, seeing my friends every day and just, having the non-worry about anything else other than just waking up and going to school every day. But I don't know. I don't really miss it that much. I just graduated. But thank you so much for watching. Remember to LCS below. Keep it G for Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.